With the release of episodes 9 and 10, we finally have the whole prologue story to the Mage Seeker, and if you haven't watched my last video of episodes 7 and 8, I suggest you watch it so you don't get lost. With that being said, let us go through the final events in the Katarina story. Episode 9 starts off with Katarina going through what appears to be a blood ritual with Drawn. While she is doing this, various thoughts go through her mind, such as her father's plan to kill Swain, how her father also taught her how to be a Noxian, and that she was taught by him to fight but could never beat him. These thoughts pile up until Drawn puts an end to it by telling Katarina to shut up. Because of her intense thoughts, it was getting in the way of the ritual, something that connects her to her blades through blood. So the only way to properly do it is to have a clear connection to it. Drawn tells her to think of a time where she was not thinking about every angle and when she just felt connected to something. And she thinks of her brief time with Garen, which makes her smile. The thought was so strong that it ended up exploding the glass bowl of blood they had in front of them. Thinking that she made a mistake, Katarina began to look for her daggers, which appear to have just disappeared. But before she could do that, Drawn stops her and tells her to not look for the daggers, but instead to feel for them. Katarina does just that and finds herself being pulled towards her dagger, which was actually lodged in the ceiling. Here we can see for the first time why Katarina in game is so agile. And thus, Katarina has completed the ritual and is now connected to her blades. Instead of reaching for her daggers, she can just connect to them and she will go right to them or they will go right to her. Even though she is able to do what she wants with her weapons, she has a lot to learn since she notes they do make a lot of noise when using them, which for an assassin is not the best match. Drawn tells Katarina that with time, she'll be able to control the magic more subtly, but time is not on her side since Talon will have told her father about Kat and move right away to attack Swain. Despite Kat gaining her new powers, Drawn worries about Kat, asking if she needs to be the one to stop her father, since Swain seems to be able to know when something is coming to him, referring to the crows that is at Swain's disposal, despite not knowing what exactly his powers are. Even though that may be the case, it's a problem if Kat's father has a plan to kill Swain, because that means he knows how to do it. The next section we see Marcus in the Immortal Bastion meditating with a mysterious voice speaking to him. This mysterious voice is coming from the Pale Lady, one who a lot of people believe to be LeBlanc. Talking to the Pale Lady, Marcus requests that their enemy to be blind to him, since he appears to have eyes everywhere. "Will you fulfill your oath with this gift of darkness?" the Pale Lady asks. He responds by saying that he will kill Swain, the one who to him is the corrupted vision of Noxus, the Cancer and the Triphorix. The Triphorix being composed of Vision, which is Swain, Might, which is Darius, and Guile, which is currently an unknown member. The Pale Lady then asks why he wishes to kill Swain. Marcus responds with him wanting to remove Swain from the Council of Three because he believes that it is being corrupted by Swain's leadership. This answer does not please the Pale Lady, calling him a liar and shocking him. In order to get the magic, he needs to be truthful with his heart, and is asked again why he wants to kill Swain. He breaks and reveals that he wants to do it for his wife, Serena, for himself, and for the glory of House Du Katu. Because he told the truth, he is rewarded with the magic that allows him to be obscured to Swain's magic of sight. Confronting a raven, he greets his old friend and tells him that even though he has his eyes everywhere, it won't help him tonight. The next moment, he is gone, leaving a message that he is almost sorry that Swain won't be able to see him coming to kill him. But before he can try anything, Marcus finds Katarina waiting for him outside of the entrance. Even though Katarina followed orders to kill the king, she failed at what her father wanted her to do. Her father figured that Swain is interested in Kat's skills as an assassin and wants to mold her into something that can take use for something important. But the reason why her father got to her before her mission wasn't to give her the same one, but it was to divert her mission. The second target wasn't Lux, but was her father. He set her up to fail and publicly humiliate her so that he could use it as evidence to humiliate Swain. Thwarting his plans, Marcus takes out an explosive that looks a lot like a black powder grenade, which knocks Katarina back. Getting up, Katarina remembers her training that her father gave her. It's a part of her. Ignore the voice and feel the vibration of the movement through the ground. But because it's her father, the one who trained her, it's going to do nothing to help her. Because of the pain, she can't feel her blades. He has taught her how to fight, so he will know how to counter that. So it's time to stop fighting like a Noxian that he trained her to be, and fight like the Noxian she is. Within the field of smoke, Katarina conjures up a plan to reveal her father. He can't see where she is just as much as she can't see him. He's just moving blind and will strike at the first chance he gets when he finds her, so she needs to figure out a way to make him reveal himself first. She does this by taunting him about Talon not making it to what she calls the father-son murder day. Continuing to mock him, she tells him that she purposely gave Talon time to contact their father before she went back to get him, so that she could hand Talon over to Swain's men herself. A pretty by-the-book means to get an opponent's defenses down. But Marcus, a skillful warrior who taught Kat and Talon how to be assassins, would certainly not fall for something like that. His actions allow Kat to find him from his mistake and attacks him. Marcus, fallen down, begs for Kat to listen, but she's relentless in her attacks. She berates him for not teaching her how to be a true Noxian, one who wants their children to grow up strong, but instead all he did was make her feel weak, never gave her any compliments, and trained her to beat everyone but her own father. The idea of someone stronger than him, let alone a little girl like Kat, was just too much for his pride as a member of Du Katao House. At this point, they are both exhausted from the fight. Marcus insulting Kat by saying she's not a true Noxian, and Kat throwing it back at him saying that he's just a lifetime of lies that was hiding one truth, and that truth was that she was better than him. She announces that she is going to take him in and find out who he's working for, but he has other plans. With what he proclaims to be a wolf's maw, it seems like he is fine with detonating it right there, even if it takes him out. Although he wanted to get closer to Swain's quarters, where he is at will have to do. With his dying words, he announces that Kat's notion of Noxus dies with her, for the Empire, and for House Du Katao. But before it could go off, Kat pulls her dagger back, knocking the device out of his hand. With the device being too heavy, there's not time to even throw it to a safe distance. Katarina then throws out her dagger, proclaiming that the Noxus she believes is raising strength in others, that to serve the Empire, to serve the people inhabiting it, and that if she saves others through her actions and death, then this is what she chooses. Channeling her magic so that she can be pulled to it, for Noxus would be her final words, if it weren't for Swain himself who intervenes. Your Empire needs you, he says, grasping the bomb in his hand, explosive magic shooting in every direction. Using the bomb's power, he detonates it in the direction of Marcus, killing him instantly. Because of the power that Marcus received from the Pale Lady, Swain was not able to see him, but instead saw that Katarina was in trouble and put the pieces together, coming to save her. Kat, now seeing what Swain has become, she can now see why he became a monster, but Swain tells her that, although he is not the man he was before, he had to do it in order to take down Darkwell and rebuild the Triphorics, because one person having all of the power is a dangerous thing. Noxus needs someone like Katarina, someone who can take anyone down, even someone like him if it gets to that point. Katarina's assassination mission in Demacia saved many lives, and she served Noxus proudly. Swain would give her his trust, even in his own life and death. Katarina, being the powerful assassin she is, equipped with new magic, knows exactly how to kill him if it gets to that point. I cannot tell you how much riz this man has, good lord! 2 months later in the Freljord, Gerodon is receiving a letter from some unknown sender. It contains a message telling him thanks for sending Talon to them in Shurima. The wound that Katarina gave him won't affect his eye, but it will leave a scar. They also note that Swain believes that he halted their plan to replace the Demacian king, but his attention is too glued to that of home and Noxus. Katarina was also appointed as the head of the Du Katao Assassins Guild, and because of that, his once silent war on other houses will get much louder. Placing Kat at the front will be his greatest weakness if, by chance, she ends up falling, making him vulnerable to attacks. The final section of the letter that he reads while burning it informs him that since Katarina has gained a new remit, it would be better for him to return to Noxus in days rather than weeks. He chuckles. Your fate, Swain's fate, and the fate of the Empire itself are decided, fully believing that he will come out on top of this war. That is until Katarina appears behind him and stabs him with her newfound powers. Swain and the Empire's fate is not for him to decide. It's Kat's. Since she could be one of the only people that would be able to stop Swain, for if he becomes corrupted himself, it needs to be taken down. The final credits roll, and thus ends the Mage Seeker prologue. Overall, a fantastic story of Katarina and how she was able to receive her powers that we see in-game. It ties in greatly with the Mage Seeker game because they accuse Silas of killing their king, when in fact it was Kat's own doing. And I'm willing to bet that in the future sometime they're probably going to be releasing a soft cover or even hard cover. Who knows? The Lux comic hardcover is so nice. The print is chef's kiss. And if they even do a Katarina hardcover, hell yeah, I'll probably buy it. What do y'all think about the comic overall? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were there things that you wanted them to add or take away? Leave your comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell and all that fun stuff, YouTube and stuff. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.